Hi, Chad. Good afternoon, and thank you
Hey,
so much for meeting with us at Safe Space. How are
mm,
you?
I'm good. I'm good. Glad it's a weekend. Time to just relax and sleep. At
Sleep
this point in my
important.
life, I cherish sleep so much.
Okay. So for June is Men's Mental Health Month, and at Safe Space, we are navigating mental health with men. We want men to go to therapy. We want men to seek help. We want men to find safe spaces.
Mm,
And as I told some of my other persons who I've had the interview with at Safe Space, if we're going to measure men by the percentage, we can say we only have 2% of men in therapy. The next 98 comes from female. And when we do promotions, we are exhausted with females.
hmm
Whatever promotion we do for men, we do more marketing for men and we get less men clients. So this month, we just want to hear from the young professionals, hear from men, average professional men, like what it's like, how has it been to encourage and to motivate because men are our leaders, they are our backbone. We pull a lot of strength from them. And I just want to create spaces so men feel safe and comfortable. So thank you. Thank you. It's the month of June, it's Men's Mental Health Month. Thank you for being here. So, Chad, let's get into the meat of the matter. Tell us
All
something
right.
about yourself, where you're from, about your career. Tell us about you. We want to know.
All right. So I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Uh, so pretty much grew up in a single parent household. Um, but at the age of like 3, my mom brought me down to Grenada, and oh my goodness, I loved it. Being with my cousins, meeting some of my best friends who still to I have this day from a kid. Um, it was like a breath of fresh air because in New York, it's like my mom, single parent, so she'll work 9 to 8 to 5 or 7 to 5. So during the summer, I had to be inside. Like you couldn't really go outside because back in early 90s, there was scrapping kids off the street, kidnapping kids. So that was my mom's biggest fear. So I had to be inside. But when I'm in Grenada now, I roam in the place. So Grenada was like a place of freedom for me. So every summer we went there or hide so I don't have to come back. So at the age of 7, my mom decided to leave me in Grenada. And I feel like that was one of the best decisions she's made because I feel like my upbringing in Grenada, like my upbringing in Grenada, I'll say the strictness, um, the how I want to put this. I feel like the respect they instill in you at a young age, the
Mhm.
things that they teach you in church, in school, is way different to here in the US. The things that I was exposed to, so I do believe that I my upbringing in Grenada was way better than is what was way better than some of my peers who grew up here in the US. So grew up in Grenada, did primary school there, secondary school there, where I met my dentist in Grenada who inspired me to become a dentist. So did secondary school, then college. After college, decided to move back here in order to pursue my career in dentistry. That within itself was a challenge just because coming from the Caribbean and being a black male, being minority, coming from a family who don't have any dentists, there was no real guidance of like what route to take. So I would do what I think or what other people would tell me. I'll go here, then meet a roadblock, go back here. So the journey was a bit long, but I made it. So in a nutshell, that's Chad.
That's beautiful, and it's really breathtaking as a born Grenadian to know that
Hmm
our country has provided that safe and fulfilling environment for you as a
Yeah.
child.
Mhm.
And I didn't even know that. I've known you like all these years, and I
Mhm.
swear you were Grenadian.
Well, I'm Grenadian.
Yeah, well, yeah. I swear you were born there. I swear you were born there. So yeah, that it's nice to get insight of the people around you. So thank you for that.
No
Chad, so we're
problem.
speaking mental health. You grew
Hmm.
up in Grenada, you were born in Brooklyn, you moved back to Brooklyn. What did you know about mental health growing up? Were you exposed to it? How did you deal with your feelings, your emotions? Did you have any safe avenues? What did your family tell you when you were overwhelmed, or if you wanted to speak to somebody, did you have a safe person? Tell us about growing up as a Black Caribbean male.
Mm. So did I have a safe space? I'll say yes. Like my mom would always say, speak to her. Cousins will always listen. So
Something.
yeah, I did have a safe space. However, what I would say is I don't think like my mom or most of my family knew how to navigate mental health. For some things, they'll be like, that bothering you, but you'll be okay. Or they'll be like, you gotta cry for that. Or, just be like, you're a boy. Supposed to be harder than that. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's some things, sometimes as a kid, you felt like your feelings were not validated or something was wrong with you because you're making this affect you or you're soft. You're not man enough. You're not strong enough as a boy growing into a man. Like you need to be stronger. So think I didn't really get a grasp or an understanding on mental health until around COVID time when I sought out therapy myself.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so you didn't have a grasp for mental health. However, around COVID time, you took that brave step. Tell us about it. Tell us about, because going to therapy can seem very scary. It can be very scary,
Mhm.
very intimidating, but tell us whatever you're comfortable to tell us, tell us.
I know, I'm comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, because therapy, it gives you a chance to be vulnerable.
Mhm,
And I mean, still to this day, being vulnerable sometimes does not feel, it doesn't, it's not a comfortable feeling.
mhm.
Just because, you have that little boy Chad always reminded me like, nah, you gotta be stronger than that. You gotta be tough. You can't let that bother you. But then also understanding like, all right, that mindset is not really the right mindset. Um, and what brought me to therapy was so I was in dental school at that time, and I was speaking to one of my friends who was in therapy, and he was just expressing how he felt and his navigation through like his hard times through school. And I was amazed. I was like, wow, like the way that you were able to like say that freely,
Mhm.
like how are you able to just do that? Like to me, it was just strange. Like the way that he was able to express himself, his emotions, talk about his struggles without feeling some sort of way of him explaining that to another guy, you know? And he was like, yeah, he's going through therapy. I was like, I was like, maybe I'll try it. So I asked him for his therapist information, and the way she got me to open up was really amazing, which I was like, this is something that I need to do because like there will be certain times I'm talking. She's like, your shoulders seem pretty tense. What is it because I said such and such? And then she'd be like,
Mhm.
let's take it back to your childhood. Like, did someone ever tell you this before? And then it's like things from my childhood that I didn't even know still affected me to this day. That she was able to bring that up to the forefront. And I'm like, oh wow. So this is why I react this way when this happens. It's because of
Mhm.
this. So now I know, okay, I need to heal that part of me so that this doesn't bother me anymore. Or I don't have to react this way to that. Or I can express myself and say, like, yeah, when this happens, this is the way I feel. Why do I feel this way? How can I fix this? How can I correct it moving forward? So yeah.
Oh wow, Chad, thank you for this. Like this was deep and beautiful. And I must congratulate you because you're speaking to that friend, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you are seeing the emotional maturity in him, and you
Mm-hmm.
are like, wow, like this is something I can have peace of. This is something I
Mm-hmm.
can do as well. This is something I can experience. However, the fact that you asked for his therapist information and you showed up. Now this is bigger. This is huge because showing up for yourself can feel very heavy sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
especially in mental health. But you took that information and you ran with it. And this is life in a nutshell,
Mm-hmm.
experiencing things vicariously sometimes and understanding that there's more to life than what I know, more to life than what I see, and there is help out there. And what I could end the interview now, because this is what I want to put out there. This is what I want people to see. This is what I want people to understand.
Yeah.
Therapy does work, and there are spaces out there that are safe, and there are
Mm-hmm.
people who have went and who have healed and who have processed trauma and who are being better at life and who understands their triggers because they went to therapy and he was able to unfold things, and that in itself is
Yeah.
beautiful.
And that brings me to just another thought because
Mm-hmm.
earlier you asked if I had that safe space, and I did. But I think in order to in order to help people, I think therapy is important because these people were trained to learn how the mind works. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like how I was trained to do dentistry and how to calm a patient in order to get the work done, or even how to remove a cavity. I feel like if you're not trained how to help someone through a problem, you may you may send them down a deeper hole of that trigger because you may use the wrong word, but not meaning to use the wrong word. You mean to
Mm-hmm.
help, but you may use the wrong word. You may even trigger them during that moment and cause them to not be able to open up. So I do think. I mean, I also recommended therapy for like my mom and but they set in their ways. They would not.
Yes, I've been there myself. I've been there myself, and we grew up in church. So for
Mm-hmm.
my mom, it was like, if you're not going to church, you aren't praying enough. That's why don't them bothering you. Go to church, pray. What you taking on things? You're too much in the world. You want to you go to church. Like it was just
You're,
church, pray.
you're
Um,
preaching to the choir right now.
yes, and they will find a scripture because if I fear, they will find a scripture. Anxiety, they will
Mm-hmm.
find a scripture. Because if you go to church every Saturday morning, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
all right. And
Mm-hmm.
even me as a person, I would have seen a lot of things in my mom, a lot of trauma there. But she's not willing to deal with that. She's not willing to. And another thing is, sometimes when they slip up, they still blaming the devil.
Mm-hmm. But what I realized with that too is through that, I mean, that's how they were trained to cope with things. But
Mm-hmm.
throughout that moment, I felt like, and this is just me, I feel like, and because I see it in my mom as well, and some of my other family members, but they treat the cause and they treat the symptom and not the cause.
Mm-hmm.
So by looking at the like going through the scriptures, right, like in this present moment, it gives them peace.
Yes.
But the cause of the problem is still there. And when it comes up again, you just treat the symptom again, give it a peace again, and then it comes back again. So it's just a recurrent thing. So,
Of course. And with
hmm
them is don't let the devil get to you. And then let's pray. And I'm not saying, and I know you and I are not saying you're not gonna have faith and you're not gonna
hmm
pray, because first and foremost, Christ first. First and
hmm
foremost. But however, therapy has its place in our life, be it as a dentist, as a
Hmm.
therapist, as a Christian, as a footballer. Therapy has its place.
Yeah.
Processing what you're going through, walking through it and dealing with it, it's a whole different ballgame. But
Hmm.
our parents' generation, it's different. We have to continue to try
Hmm.
because
Yeah. You
they
have to
taught
combine them all.
they taught us a lot. Now that we know differently, we also have to teach them.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, Chad, let's talk more about your profession. Being a dentist must be heavy. Every profession has its heavy days. How do
Hmm.
you navigate stress or anxiety or days when you feel overwhelmed?
Um, I talk to my peers. And the reason being is because they're going through the same thing, so they can understand the exact like stressful moment, the feelings that I'm going through, the emotions I'm going through. So I go to my mentors, I go to my classmates, I go to my close friends who are in pediatric as well. Um, and I talk to my fiance as well. But it's easier to talk to the people who are in in the fight with me.
Mhm.
So that's how I been dealing with it. I don't have a therapist right now, but I do need to get one. And I get one for my fiance as well, because these were advice that I was given from my friends who married, who are engaged, and they were telling me of how much of a benefit it was to them, uh, or benefit it is to them during their life. So these are things that I'm working on now. Just finding one could be a bit of a challenge, but once you find one, oof, so good.
Chad, spitting at a lot of growth and a lot of maturity, emotional maturity here. And I I can't be more happy. Like I can't be happier than having this interview with you. Like this things needs to be heard. People need
Yeah.
to understand that this is okay.
Hmm.
And I know it
Yeah.
has been tabooed for a lot of years, but this is okay. People are
Yeah.
healing. People are seeking help. It is working. And one thing I will say by saying all of this, it is working because you are also putting in the work. You cannot go
Hmm.
to therapy and expect your therapist to fix you.
Hmm.
You have to
The
put in the work.
I'll say the benefit of it, or the benefit of me going through therapy now, or not benefit, I'll say the root cause is just seeing how much it has helped other people around me. Um, and how much of like peace it gives them, how it helps them to navigate through their different like obstacles and problems. Um, it just shows that, there are professionals out here who can help you work through these different like issues and stuff. So, I mean, I would say the growth comes from that, just being able to be surrounded by like-minded people, by people who are their main priority is working on themselves.
Yeah, yeah, I get you.
Hmm.
So in your workplace, Chad,
Hmm.
do you promote mental health well-being?
Mm, I do, but I don't. I wouldn't say that it has been part of my like just like oral health counseling and just health counseling. I do think that is something that I can incorporate. It's just such a shady area because you don't want to tell a parent something and then they get offended by it.
Mhm.
Because sometimes parents are already offended by the child's oral health care, and you telling them, like child comes in, plaque on their teeth, and you'll be like, yeah, mom, she or he is not brushing. And they'll be like, yeah, yeah, they just ate. And I'm like, no, it takes 24 hours for plaque to build on your teeth. And right then they get offensive. So, so some parents, like some things that you see, I'll ask if they're in any, um, are they receiving any like health counseling, mental health counseling. A parent will sometimes say they are with a therapist right now. Um, because I mean, sometimes you do see certain signs of um, like some sort of crisis. And the first thing you do, you talk to the parent. There was one parent that said, the kid was hospitalized um, for a few days. They're currently on medication. So, and then you do follow up with these patients. Um, so yes, it's been a very shady area for me. I'm still working on ways that I can like incorporate and ask these questions without like offending um, the parent or the caregiver. Yeah.
Totally understandable.
Mhm.
Here's a little tip. What's about a pamphlet? You know, when you go to the dentist, like when I was young and I went to the dentist with
Mhm.
my mom, you get a little toothbrush, you get a little snack, you get a little toothpaste or a little toy.
Mhm.
Is this still part of,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So we can add a little oral health pamphlet in there with some little mental health tips, or
Mhm.
it wouldn't be too pushy, like you're not telling mom, hey mom, do this, that, or so on. You are giving them that material. And maybe one day they clean in the house, they might just put it on the table, the kitchen counter or so on. But one day they might just pick it up and say, what was that in that,
Mhm.
package from the dentist? Let me have a read. And
Mhm.
that one read, that one paragraph, that one point, that one motivation in there can give them that opportunity to seek help outside of just physical health. So
Yeah.
maybe that's something we can look at. I
Yeah.
challenge you.
Yeah. I'll just have to find like different uh like mental health counselors and stuff in the area in that community that I can refer them to. And I think they should have them in schools as well, but I think that's something that I will look for in the community.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. So, Chad,
Mhm.
I've been asking all the men on the interview this question. What do
Mhm.
you believe are some of the biggest mental health challenges men face today? I know it's a heavy
Oh.
one.
Um, I would say one, I would say social media because you see everyone talks about like couples and what woman deserves, what a man deserves, and those
Mhm.
kind of stuff. And sometimes, like even just watching those stuff, you can kind of internalize some of these things. But I feel like social media, there are good things there, but there are also a lot of false news.
Mhm.
And I feel sometimes that can be very overwhelming as a guy because you look at all these things like, oh, in order for you to be a successful man, you have to be making this amount of money, you have to be doing this. And it's not really that. And I feel like, or a woman should be this, a woman should be that. But it's just like sometimes I feel like we end up looking for the perfect person, or we think that because I don't have these accolades, I am I'm not a guy that someone should date, or
Mhm.
I'm not dateable. And for me, I just feel like regardless of all my accolades, at the end of the day, I'm just Chad. Like that is just a part of me. That is not me. Like I'm Grenadian. I'm in dentistry. I like sports. I like there's so many different aspects of like who I am. That's one struggle that I see pretty often. Another one is just like I feel like sometimes every time you step outside, like no matter like for a man, you have to think about so many things. You have to think about providing for your family, but also taking care of yourself. Then when you're outside, you have to think, especially as a black man here in America, you have to you have to seem confident. You always have to be looking over your shoulder. The minute time you see a police car light come on, you're thinking like, okay, is it me? Am I doing everything right? Um, you have to think about, bills. Sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming, and then you still feel like you can't really express how you feel. Like if you feel a moment of like weakness, like you have to like suppress that. Like you can't like tell someone you feel that way because then you're looked at as being weak, you know? So I think all these are struggles. Like you can't really not having that avenue to really express the moments that you feel vulnerable, the moments you feel weak, the moments you feel overwhelmed. That could be very stressful as a man, and not knowing who you can go to and talk to, because sometimes you don't want to go and talk to someone and then they go and tell this
Mhm.
person,
Yeah,
oh,
of course.
look what Chad told me. Yeah, he real soft. I don't know how you making that bother him. And now it's just like, like dog, I just needed somebody to talk to.
Like, what wrong with Chad?
Yeah,
Like,
you
speak up,
understand?
Chad.
Or you hear what you told what you heard what you told to this guy, someone else telling you, oh, I hear this. It's like, what? So it's just like always having to suppress these things. And that is something that also causes like health issues in men. It's like stress can lead to many different illnesses. So being able to find somebody that you can talk to, find somebody that you can trust. And I mean, I do believe in therapy because they have like they vowed to keep like that transparency, that privacy between both of you. So that's what I like. And but that's what I do that's what I think men struggle with right now with mental health.
And I like how you broke it down, Chad, because in the Black community, we like to tease. Like you would have
Hmm.
spoken to somebody about something, and they may not have taken it as serious.
Hmm.
And like you go to play a little football or basketball, and everybody now is teasing you, and you dare not cry there. You dare
Hmm.
not express more there. You now have to suppress as hard as you can and laugh it out or say something like, I was joking, or
Hmm.
that wasn't that deep. It ran on my mind. I just tell it's not a big deal. No, you have to like fold yourself in and hide
Hmm.
in shame.
Internally you're dying, but you had to put that smile on your face. And I always see that like that mask of like a smiley face, but behind it, the
Mhm.
person is so much pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard and I've seen this in my profession.
Hmm.
As we talking about that, Chad, as a man and with your friends, with your colleagues, with your peers, when you're traveling, when you're chilling, when you're playing sport, it's mental health. There's a lot of topics. There's topics on
Hmm.
fashion, there's topics on women, cars, sports. Is mental health ever a topic? Because we're trying to change the narrative. Or can mental health be a topic on the courtyard, in the barbershop, in the gym? Because we have to start somewhere.
I would say in the US it is.
Mhm.
In the Caribbean it's not. So like when I'm up here with my friends, like you always hear it. Like even yesterday, I don't mind saying this, but I was at the barber shop and my barber was like, he's like, you don't have to answer. He always brings up these deep topics, and we always talk about it. And I do enjoy it. Sometimes
Mhm.
I'm tired as hell. I'm like, "Ah." But it's still, at the end of it, I'm happy that we had the discussion. And that's how
Mhm.
therapy is for me sometimes. Like going
Yes.
into it, I'm like,
Mhm.
now I have to go through this. But then after, I'll be like, such a relief.
Mhm.
But like we were in the barbershop yesterday, and like last weekend was Father's Day. He's like, never really heard you talk about your dad. Like, you always talk about your mom. I was like, yeah, it really wasn't part of my life. And he was like, how is Father's Day for you? I was like, honestly, I don't like it because it's just like you see all these people happy Father's Day. I've never made that post, I've never really had a father in my life to say like I have something to celebrate. So it always has been something that I was just like, eh, I guess like I'm just stick to myself. And then he was sharing me with his struggle with his dad as well. And then brought up therapy. And I was just expressing to him how like last week, my friend was playing at a church. He plays keyboard, and he invited me and my fiance. So we went, and the sermon was on like Father's Day. And I'm like, oh man, I did not even realize this is what the sermon would have been, or I wasn't coming. It was a really good sermon though. And he was just talking about just like he it brought it home to me because he was like, some people celebrate this day, some people do not enjoy this day because either they didn't have a father in their life or the father was there but the father wasn't present, as like he wasn't emotionally present. So in the US here, I experienced mental health. Like when my friends in dental school, like we normally get into like deep conversations of just like life and how we feel. In dental school, we had this thing where if I ask you how you doing and you say I'm good, it's just like I need more. Because that's what men do. How you doing?
Mhm.
A good man, a day, you know?
Mhm.
And that's it. It was just like, nah, I need more. Like you have to tell me like what it is what it is that is making you happy right now. Like what are you enjoying? Like what the highlight of your week? Like tell me a positive of like growth, something that you learned. Um, so I think that also helped me just kind of like learn and be able to navigate my emotions, my feelings throughout the week, daily. Um, so like when I'm in the Caribbean, like I feel like we still have that view on just like when I'm hurting, when I'm down, just seclude yourself, deal with your thing personally, and then once you feel like you're over it, you come outside and you put that smile on your face and you're back to your jolly self. So it is something that I'm working on with my friends home, but it's
They're
a
gonna say it.
challenge.
They're
It's a
gonna say it.
challenge. It's a challenge.
Remember, they're gonna see this interview.
Yeah, I mean, I want them to see it. I want them to see it, but it is a challenge. And I just hope, and I mean, maybe they do see people and like see therapists, or they do have someone that they can openly talk to about like their struggles and like downfalls. And maybe that's what I don't know, because as I said, men don't really like showing that vulnerable or weak side to them. Um, but I'm glad they'll see it so that this will challenge them to be able to speak openly about it. Because, and I have my own thing where I say one thing that I've seen is women outlive men. And why is the reason of that? Because women know how to, they know how they understand their emotions. Us men, we suppress a lot, or like we isolate ourselves. And I do think like for us it's unhealthy.
It is. It's it is very.
Hmm. Hmm.
However, that's why we're here. We're changing the narrative. And I love when you said, give you more. How are you? Tell me more.
Hmm.
And sometimes that is where the change happens when men support men. Because because it may seem like women are so in tune with their emotions and men might
Hmm.
feel intimidated like that. I don't want to be soft. I don't want to be feminine. But when they see another man showing up, another man speaking out, like your experience, for example, and you see
Hmm.
that that man has that emotional growth, and that is something I would like to experience. Like this men supporting men is a game changer.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
so continue, and
Yeah.
remember to take it home.
Mhm.
Remember to take it home.
Hey, that's about to within itself, but yeah. But yeah, and that's the thing, it's just like being able to express how you feel and the emotions is not feminine. That is life. Like
Thank
every day
you.
we deal with something. Every day. every day there is another challenge, and it's just like life was not meant for us to go through it alone. And another thing that I always tell people is just like if you are experiencing something, you need to find someone who maybe have experienced it before, because they can tell you how they navigated it.
Mhm.
Like you have to like that's why I always say having a mentor is key, because you have someone in that field that knows how to navigate certain stuff. Like you may be going through something, and they may have someone who went through it at this went through that too, and they can guide you through it. But talking to someone who, have no idea what you're going through, have no idea how to help you navigate it, that's tough.
It is.
That's tough.
What this person is going to bring is just their perspective, their lived perspective, and their opinions. And
Mm-hmm.
as you said earlier, it might just be a trigger.
Mm-hmm.
But when
Mm-hmm.
you find somebody that is trained and somebody that has learned this particular thing before, now you have the insight of what is happening to you, why it's happening to you, and they can give you the resources and the tools to help you. And
Yeah.
that is what is different with therapy and mentorship and coaching.
Mm-hmm.
That is what is different right there.
Yeah. 'Cause sometimes you need an opinion, sometimes you need a solution, or just sometimes you just need to be heard. You just need someone
Mhm.
to just listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chad,
Mm-hmm.
before you leave us, what
Mm-hmm.
advice would you give to a man who is struggling in silence right now?
I would say find a therapist. And the thing is just like finding a therapist is not easy. But there are avenues out there. Like, you may talk to one person and they'd be like, it didn't click. But don't stop there. Just continue. Just continue searching, because I I do think like therapy has helped me in a lot of ways. And I mean, even though I've done therapy in the past, I still need one to this day, because it's just like every day is a new challenge.
Mhm.
And sometimes I may think I'm navigating it a certain way, but I'm not. And sometimes having that person just to talk to and just figure out, like, okay, yeah, Chad, he was tripping on this one, but where is that coming from? Or maybe you're overthinking it, you know? But by having that person just to talk to, just to make you feel heard, but provide different solutions for you, different exercises for you to try is helpful. Because just the same way that we need to go to the doctor to check our blood pressure, blood sugar, check all our vital organs. The brain is a very important organ as well. And I mean, having a therapist can be very beneficial.
It can't like listen to me. Thank you for being here. Like, thank you for
No,
coming.
thanks for having me, so I can share my little piece of my story and my group,
Mhm.
and I'm still growing through it. So.
And Chad, as you rightly said, because me as a therapist, I went to therapy as well, and I don't think my first therapy was a connection. My
Mm-hmm.
first time was in uni
Mm-hmm.
at St. George's University, and I went once or twice, didn't go back. Then when I felt heavy again, because like sometimes when you're feeling that like you want to go and just be fixed up, but then I kept going and no, that wasn't a fit for me. But and I will say this, and that is to encourage specifically Grenadians, because therapy can be super expensive, super
Mm-hmm.
expensive, and not a lot of health insurance cover therapy.
Mm-hmm.
However, in Grenada and a lot of other countries and Caribbean countries, the government will provide. And I went
Oh
to
yeah.
legal aid. I went to
Mm-hmm.
legal aid in Grenada, and it has changed my life. It has changed my life. And I think that is one of the best gifts I've given myself. I mean, I've bought a lot
Mm-hmm.
of things, I've gone a lot of places, I've experienced a lot of things. However, therapy was me giving myself therapy.
Mm-hmm.
It was so beautiful. And I tell people every day, and in every interview, people might hear me saying this. When I tell people go to therapy, I am not saying it because I want you as a customer. I am not saying this because I want to add money to Safe Space. Of course, it's my profession and I need to get paid. But I'm telling you this because I've been there. I've been on that journey and I know it's heavy. I was walking up that hill and I was crying, but I showed up and I got this aha feeling. I felt lighter. I can sleep better. I don't overthink certain things. I know my triggers. Like it is so beautiful. So when I
Mm-hmm.
talk about therapy, I always tell my clients and tell regular people, friends, acquaintances, my family members, like, hey, therapy is it's lit, you know, it's like a party. It's lit. It's
Mm-hmm.
lit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because hey, once you go through it and you feel that relief off of your shoulders, it's
Mhm.
like a new person. It's really something. It's really something, and
Yeah.
I really hope on my journey of finding a new therapist, like I'm successful really quick. Cause ooh, like you know, another thing is just like throughout my career, like people see the good side. And that's what you post on social media. Social media is very fake. We only show the good sides of life.
Of course.
But, through all the good, like through every win, I maybe had about between 5 and 10 failures. And it's just like, what do you do when you fail? Like, of course, you don't feel good.
Mhm.
Like, how do you bounce back from that? And that was fail, not fail, but therapy was a big part of me bouncing back um, during COVID. Because just to add another part, like, that was like right after COVID. I had taken like my written dental boards, as a requirement for graduation, and I failed it the first time. And then like I was like, it was like 20 of us from my class. It was 60 of us. I was in the first batch that took it. I was the only one that failed. So everyone was posting that they passed. And I was like, damn. Like for me to come this far, if you don't pass that exam, you can't graduate, you can't go on to residency. I've already gotten into residency. Graduation was like 9 months around the corner. I'm like, okay, did I come this far to not be able to be a dentist? Like, and now I'm thinking like, oh, I'll let my whole family down, all of this. So
Mm.
then, that was when I started therapy, and that was a big help, like learning about like how I dealt with failure as a kid and those kind of stuff. So just like now failure still sucks whenever I experience it, but at the same time, I know how to navigate that side of me now. Just like, okay, figure out what I did wrong, what can I do better? Let's run it back. So I hope the people who see this see the vulnerable side of me, but also know that if it helped me, it can help them.
Thank you for this.
Yeah.
Like, thank you, Chad. And in you just explain your experience, and what I want to leave with is that therapy really helps a person who would normally will self-sabotage in failure or in grief or in any type of stress, and you understand why you are being this hard on yourself. You
Hmm.
understand why you think you are a failure, why you think you are not good enough. Therapy, I'm not gonna stop saying this. Show
Hmm.
up, do the work, it works.
Hmm. Yeah. People don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
it. That's it. But thank you,
I
Dad.
No,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you for having me.
I
Hey, and
want
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
thank
We
you.
seeing like all my friends from teenage years, just from church, from high school, from college, like seeing us to the place where we are, just helping people, making a difference in the world. Like it is motivating to me as well to keep pushing.
Yes, of course. And thank you. And kudos on your journey.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
In being a dentist, in being a man who knows how to embrace being vulnerable. Kudos on your journey to marriage and
Wow, thank you.
a
Thank you.
beautiful life.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Praying for it.
I know, I know. Have a good
Yeah.
one.
All right, thank you.
Enjoy your
Thank you
day.
again. All right, bye,
Bye-bye.
Terry. All right. That's